Sure we. Well, after that very heavy roasting, shall we turn to the grill now and whip up a perfect condiment a la Brazil. Chimichurri is the most delicious, silky Brazilian condiment that goes great with steak, with chicken, with fish, with anything. You can eat it on its own, put it on an egg, I don't care. Now, Jenny Morris says that it is super easy to make, and I'm gonna trust her, and it tastes incredible, and she is standing next to me right now to take us on another culinary trip to Brazil.
Oh, yes, darling, and we're gonna start with their meat.
Because it's a very big part of their cuisine culture there. They love their steaks,
Huge,
yeah?
absolutely. And I have to say that from a meat point of view, they don't like to fuss with it. Salt and pepper. If you ever go to a Brazilian steakhouse, a lot of the meat is done on the rotisserie.
Oh, wow.
So they have these big bins, and it's like you have the pole,
For sure.
and then the meat goes around and around.
Okay.
And beef is huge. I mean, all meat. They love all meat. I'm like giving you a nice heavy, because it's a big piece of steak.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you want that
happy.
to form that beautiful crust on it.
Now
so
look at this.
You're separating your steak.
Yes.
Wow. And that's a rump, hey?
This is a rump, and this little piece here is known as the picanha.
Picanha.
And you don't get a very big piece of that because it's just that little lazy bit that it's the tip. It's the
so
tip of the
special.
rump, yeah. It's very, very
Okay.
special. And if you get that in Brazil, it's coveted.
Okay, so that's like the...
Yeah, absolutely. You can
The
buy
delicacies.
it.
That's for the briar. He gets to keep that for himself.
That's the problem. And mostly the men are the brides, so the girls never see
Never
this.
get to get their picanha, you know?
So now I'm going to pop this on. Meat must always be at room temperature because it's a muscle. You want it to absolutely
Be relaxed as possible, for
But
sure.
I have a weak spot for this.
Okay, chimichurri, I love it. It's one of my beautiful fiance's favorite flavor profiles.
Yes.
So I really want to know how to make this.
All right. So in Brazil, you'll find it's not very heavy on the parsley, but very heavy on the coriander.
Okay.
Which is delicious. Unlike a salsa verde, you won't find any olive oil in this because then it becomes very pesto-y.
Okay.
But I do. This just like makes my heart sing. But you know, it's like a masala. You can have your own version of it.
You can change it up according to your
Exactly.
flavor profile. What's going in there
Now
now?
this, we're going to put some cumin in it, and this
Cumin?
is Jenny's favorite, and it's toasted, so the flavors are intense. A little bit of toasted coriander seed as well,
Okay.
which has a different flavor to the fresh.
To the fresh coriander, okay.
And then we're going to put some vinegar, because this is what gives it the oomph and the zing on
Lets
top of
it
the meat.
sing. Okay, I
Oh,
love
darling,
that.
and does it sing? It does the salsa.
And you went in with like full-on garlic cloves there, hey? Ain't playing around.
Got to do it. You
Ain't
don't
playing
play.
around.
No playing here. Now you're going to zits and do that, and I'm going to talk you through the steak. We're going to only turn the steak once.
Once, okay.
Because we don't want to mess with all that deliciousness. And then while that is cooking, I've already prepared one, which I'm going to bring, and we'll pop some fresh chimichurri.
Freshly made. Okay, I'm going to blitz this guy up. How does that look?
That looks amazing. How much do you love me?
Oh,
You love me
with
lots.
all my heart, every fiber of my being.
All right, so I'm going to treat you then to the picanha, which is absolutely delicious. What I love about Brazil is that you'll find on every single table there's salt. It's like the Moroccans will have salt, pepper, and cumin. They have salt, pepper, and mandioc.
What is manioc?
Mandioc is it's the cassava root or yucca root,
Okay.
and that's the Brazilian name for it. And a legend has it that, especially the Indians, that if you have mandioc root, you never ever go hungry. So it's very nutritious, it's a carbohydrate, and it's very filling. So you will find that on every single table in Brazil.
My mouth is watering so much now, just smelling that fat rendering off that beautiful
Isn't
piece
it
of
too
steak.
delicious
Oh, I
for
love that.
words?
That's one of my happy places.
So I'm going to make you even happier. I'm going to pass you this. Let's just stick it in this little bowl so we don't mess. And just tell me. What's nice about the chimichurri, it's vibrant and it's very, very green. If you have any left, it makes a beautiful marinade. So what you could do with that is just freeze it. Don't waste it, because obviously the herb oxidizes, goes a bit brown.
And the crazy thing is,
Is it good?
I'm not a fan of coriander.
Oh, I
but
love
this I love.
Oh,
The balance, I like the acidity of it as well, kind of
Yes.
kicks it into a higher gear. But to offset the fattiness of the meat,
The vinegar.
cuts
What do you
through
think
that.
about the dried the dried spices? Isn't that delicious?
And maybe that's what's balancing it out for me. Maybe like coriander on its own, fresh coriander, I find it just dominates other flavors. But the balance of flavors in this chimichurri,
It's intense.
it really does.
A nice bit of depth as well.
It counters the richness of because a rump is quite a fatty piece of meat.
It is. It's nice.
And this kind of it tempers that flavor profile beautifully. You're going to have to send me another little
That's
piece there,
exactly.
girl. Come
Listen,
on,
I'm a
don't play
mother.
around.
What do you think I'm doing?
Don't
Put
play
that in my
around.
mouth.
Oops,
It's for you.
Don't play around. Oh,
I'm going to give this one last turn, and I might as well give you a cooking lesson while you're chewing. Is don't always use tongs. Don't poke. Don't cut into the meat to check that it's done. You can always use your fingers and press and test it, because the more it cooks, the tougher it becomes. You know. So if you have a look here, this is beautiful. This is still a bit
And for
rare.
me, like I've learned now, if you really want to finish it off, and you need to, if someone wants it a bit more well done, pop it in the oven for 5 minutes.
Exactly. Don't
Roast
keep
it
it
off.
cooking in the pan, wasting and losing its juices.
Completely, and learn to gently feel your steak and then let
yes.
it rest.
Touch your food, baby. Touch
We
your
all
food.
need to rest after a hard meal. That is absolutely delicious. I'm going to make my beautiful fiance some chimichurri.
There you go.
Chimichurri to have dinner tonight. That's absolutely superb. And you can find that recipe on expressoshow.com. And please, please, please use it this weekend and maybe post a picture or two. Oh, spectacular. Well, I think maybe we can dance off some of those extra calories we've taken in today. We've got one more Friday dance for you coming up in just a moment. Oh.
Is it good?